Recording. श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजम् अप्रमेयम् सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुं अरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचर विनाशकरं नमामि. We're doing Yuddha Kanda. This is the fourth installment. I think we will have at least about a couple more installments before we complete Yuddha Kanda. Yuddha Kanda has 120 chapters. Kujantam Rameti Madaram Madaraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Mandi Valmiki Kokilam Valmikir Simhasya Kavita Vanacharinaha Shun Rama Kathanadam Koneyati Parangatim Yopipan Satatam Rama Charitamrata Sagaram Atruptastam Manim Vande Prachetis Makalmasham Vaidehi Saitam Suradrumatale Haimi Mahamandapi Mati Pushpakamasani Manimi Virasani Sustatam Agri Vacheti Prabhanjan Sute Tatvam Munibya Param Yakyantam Bhartadavi Padivrutam Ramam Bhaje Shyamalam. We have to always be grateful for every opportunity we get to listen and recite Valmiki Ramayana. So we went through Vibhishna Sharanagati and we started off with the battle formation. We completed the battle formation as well yesterday. And we started the battle as well. So let's just run through it. We have already seen the gift of Hanuman, march to Lanka. Ravana has very bad advice from everyone except for Vibhishna. Vibhishna is kicked out. Vibhishna takes the shelter of Lord Rama. And Lord Rama says, Sakradeva Prapannaya Tava Asmiti Chayachate Abhim Sarvabhutibhyo Dadami Etat Vratam Mama. All of them, they decide to go ahead and so Ravana sends multiple spies. Rama decides to go ahead and pray to the ocean. He's angry. They do the Setu Bandhan. We also discussed a couple of topics that are commonly associated with the Setu Bandhan, but are not true in entirety. And then we saw the battle formation. Ravana sends another couple of spies, Shuk and Saran, and then Shuk and Saran give the exact count of Lord Rama's army. We saw Shardula, the lineage. Ravana deceives Mother Sita by throwing the head and the bow of Lord Rama, which was created by Vidyut Jiva. Sarama consoles Mother Sita, and Malyavan advises Ravana to no avail. And then we have the battle formation. Please remember that Hanuman was against Indrajit in the western side, and Lord Rama and Lakshmana were against Ravana on the northern side. These two are of huge importance, obviously, because Rama killed Ravana. Hanuman did not kill Indrajit, but this particular formation has a huge impact on how Indrajit was killed, and the person who killed Indrajit as well. So we also saw that on top of Subelu mountain, Sugriva fights with Ravana. We discussed that they came to Lanka on a full moon day. They came to Lanka on full moon day, and then the battle commenced from the next day. Lord Rama is very loving, very caring to Sugriva, who was hurt. He sent Angada to Ravana's court to say that the battle has commenced. The commencement of the battle, so we see that it's very ferocious. It's very the battle continues on during the day as well as night. So in Mahabharata, at least till Bhishma Pitama was the commander in chief, the battle completely stopped at sunset. It completely stopped. Then afterwards, afterwards, a lot of things did not really go according to ethics. and all that. Over here, because the Rakshasas are Nishacharas, and they are very strong at night, they continue to battle out at night as well. And because of that, the Lord's army had to fight back as well. So we have already discussed that Rama never really offended the Rakshasas. He was always there to defend. It was either defending the sages of Dandakaranya or defending himself when Khara Dushna attacked him or doing something like that. There was never a time when the Lord offended. He doesn't do that. So yesterday we stopped at this particular scene. So we saw that Indrajit was combated by Angada, and Angada destroys Indrajit's military paraphernalia, and he is very furious and he hides. And we are going to see the Naga Pasha pastime today, and I hope that we can cover a lot more as well. The Naga Pasha pastime is very important because it shows it shows multiple things. One of the key misconceptions about Indrajit is that people think that he defeated Rama and Lakshmana. That is not really true. The Lord cannot be defeated at all. It's impossible to defeat the Lord because, after all, the Lord is supreme. Indrajit is, after all, only a Jivatma. He's only a Jivatma. And our Upanishads have given the dimensions of a Jivatma, which is 1/10,000 the size of the tip of hair. After all, that is the size of Indrajit as well. The actual soul, that is his size. Just because he was very huge and Ravana had 10 heads doesn't mean that the soul's size also changed. That was the soul size that remained consistent. Rama is greater than the greatest and mightier than the mightiest, and nobody can defeat him. So to think that he was defeated just shows that that particular person has got no idea about the various potencies of the Lord, just has no idea at all. And just to help everyone understand, when the Lord doesn't run away from battle, he doesn't do that. When someone challenges him, he's there to face everyone. However, Krishna ran away in battle, so much so that is also a very good name for him, called Ranchodarai, the one who left the battlefield and ran away. But why did he do that? Because he wanted to give his darshan to his bhakta by the name of Muchukunda. Muchukunda was a great bhakta of his. He wanted to give his darshan. So the Lord will do a lot of things for the sake of his bhaktas. And we shouldn't think, oh, Krishna was a coward, he left the battlefield. No, he is so great that he personally went to Muchakunda's cave and he gave his darshan to him. Similarly, in Naga Pasha pastime, the Lord is so great that he was willing to be defeated by Indrajit just so that one great bhakta can come and see him. He would do anything from for his bhaktas, because the Lord has innumerable qualities, innumerable gunas. But what is the prime guna? The prime guna is Bhakta Vatsala. For his devotees, he will do anything, absolutely anything. This is the level of affection that he has for his bhaktas. So now that we have this premise in our brain and our hearts, let's go ahead with the Naga Pasha pastime. So Indrajit had done, he's actually a very powerful Rakshasa. He has conducted multiple sacrifices, which we will hear about in greater detail in Uttarakhand. And because of the power of his tapasya, he was able to have the sons of Mother Kadru. Kadru is one of the wives of Kashyapa, and her children are all serpents. So those serpents were tied into a pash. Pash is a noose, and those serpents were tied into a pash, and therefore it's known as Naga Pash. Ramam cha Lakshmana chaiva ghore nagamahe sharaihi. Sharai means it's the arrow. Bibheda samare kruddaha sarva gatreshu raghava. And they Sarvagatreshya, so every single place on Raghavas, the two Raghavas, so that is Rama and Lakshmana, they were completely attacked by these serpents. So Rama and Lakshmana were both bound by Naga Pasha, or the noose of the snake. He continues to send multiple monkeys to make sure that they find out where Indrajit is hiding. Indrajit uses magic to reduce the speed of the Vanaras, but and the meantime he goes ahead, pierces the bodies of Rama and Lakshmana over and over and over and over again, so much so that there was not space for even a pin to enter. Blood flows from the wounds, and they shone like kimshuka trees in full bloom. Tayok shataja margena shusrava rudhiram bahu. Rudhiram bahu. Susrava means it is flowing. Rudhiram means blood. Bahu means copious amounts of. Tav ubhau cha prakashete pushpitav iva kimshukau. Prakashete, they were shining. Pushpita means flowers. Iva kimshukau. So kimshuka flowers, I just googled kimshuka flowers, and they are flowers. They're very bright, and they come in clusters. And so what Valmiki is trying to say is, first of all, Kimshika is very beautiful. Rama is also very beautiful. Lakshmana is also very beautiful. And it looks as if the wounds were in clusters. So it's not like one solitary flower here and there, like a rose is like one solitary flower here and there in a rose bush. The Kimshika is all in clusters. So that means that there were the arrows were so closely piercing the bodies of the Lord that the blood was also pouring out in torrents. Now, Indrajit, who is invisible, says that even Indra cannot find him when he chooses to be invisible. Then Rama and Lakshmana are just puny mortals. What can they do? And he puts more arrows on them. And they did not fight him because he had rendered himself invisible. So it is against the war ethics. So I'll just go through this. So now we might think, the body of the Lord is transcendental. How did it produce blood? Because blood, pus, mucus, stool, and urine, all of these are part of the material body. So how can the transcendental body of the Lord produce blood? For the Lord, he doesn't care whether a Jivatma is offering flowers or offering arrows. All he cares about is the fact that the Jivatma is offering him something. The Jivatma is thinking of him when they are offering something. So he doesn't care. He doesn't care. As well as, this is loving the Lord through negative means. So the Lord doesn't really care. Can anything hurt him? No, nothing can hurt him. However, what does Krishna say? Ye yada mam prapadyanti tam tataiva bhajamiham. The way in which you approach me, I will approach you in the same way. The degree in which you approach me, I will approach you in that same degree. The Rakshasas are facing him in battle. They want to oppose him in battle. They want to offer arrows to him in battle. The Lord will always reciprocate. He will always reciprocate. Whatever the living entity wants, the Lord will always reciprocate. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that we can do that the Lord will hate us or will shun us or go away from us. There is absolutely nothing. This is the all-encompassing love of the Lord. So now when a Jivatma offers flowers, the Lord accepts it. He wears the flowers like garlands, or he allows the flowers to touch his body, or he even puts them on his hair. He does all of that. Because Indrajit, the Jivatma, is constantly thinking of Rama and Lakshmana and offering arrows. Okay, he has to show that he has accepted that love. He has to show it. So he is manifesting blood. This is completely transcendental blood. It is not material blood. This is transcendental. The body of the Lord never ceases to be transcendental. The body of the Lord is always transcendental. He doesn't come under the Panchabhutas or the eight, energies or nothing. Bhumi, Apo, Anilo, Vayu, Kam, Mano, Buddhir, Ahankara. These things are not, it's these gross coverings and the subtle coverings. None of these exist in the body of the Lord. Because these are all the energies, Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. These are the energies of the Lord that are emanating from him. The Lord himself is not bound by all of this. So this blood is also transcendental. Our blood, it has plenty of iron, it has all of this, it has water, it has a lot of those Panchabhuta elements, but Rama, completely transcendental. So when the living entity wants a particular relationship with the Lord will always, it's a blanket statement, the Lord will always reciprocate. And even then, he's showing that he's so beautiful. He's very beautiful. Now, the second question is, why didn't the Lord defend themselves? Why didn't they defend themselves? They are Kshatriyas. A warrior is attacking them. Why didn't they defend? Because Indrajit was invisible. Because he's invisible, Rama and Lakshmana, who are adept in war ethics, know that it is not okay to fight an enemy who is invisible. This will come later on. We will see during Indrajit Vadham, Lakshmana wants to know whether he can put Brahmastra to destroy Indrajit and all the Rakshasas. Rama says, Ayuddhamanam prachannam pranjalam sharanagatam palayantam pramattam va natvam ihantum arhasi. So we will see that, I think it comes in the 80th chapter or so, 80 or 81st chapter. We will see that in greater detail when we get there. During the Indrajit Vadam pastime, we will do that. But anyway, it is against the war ethics to fight an invisible enemy. So the Lord will not do that. The next is, this is even greater than anything. The Lord will do anything for his devotees. And right now, a phenomenal devotee is going to come and is going to serve the Lord. Is going to serve the Lord. And that particular devotee needs the opportunity to come and serve him. And therefore, this was just a ploy for the Lord to meet his devotee. That is it. It's not as if the Lord was defeated or anything. See, even to this day in Kali Yuga also, there are many people who name their children as Indrajit. They will not name them as Vibhishan, but they will name them as Indrajit because they think that, oh, he was so great that he defeated Indra and Rama and Lakshmana and everyone. He was so powerful. So they will name their children as Indrajit. It's all just foolishness. They haven't understood who the Lord is. What are his motives to conduct certain pastimes? They haven't understood it. Indrajit, he is powerful. Yes, admittedly, he is very powerful. However, he is nothing compared to Rama and Lakshmana. He is absolutely nothing. So there is a reason why the Lord chooses not to defend. It was his choice. It was his choice. The princes fall on the earth and they're lying on a bed of arrows. Bed of arrows. So Bhishma Pitama was also in bed of arrows and our heart just broke for him. Such a great devotee, he is now on the bed of arrows. Now imagine. The Lord himself, tender like the lotus petal, absolutely tender like the petals of a lotus. And that particular Lord was lying on a bed of arrows. There was not even a space that was not lacerated with arrows. Nahi avidam tayor gatram babhuva angulam antaram. Not even the space between the two fingers. Angulam means finger. Antaram means the space in between. Not even the space between the fingers was free. न अनिर्भिन्नम न च अस्तब्धम आकर अग्राद अजीह मगय. There was not a space where they were not lacerated with arrows. And still, Indrajit is continuing to strike them over and over and over and over again. Rama falls first. The bowstring is loosened. Lakshmana is lamenting that his brother's lotus petal like eyes are closed. Hanuman and others are dazed by grief. And then the grief of seeing Rama and Lakshmana on the bed of arrows is overwhelming. Our hearts bleed whenever we see photos of, whenever we see paintings of Bhishma Pitama lying on the bed of arrows. Our hearts bleed. Such a great bhakta, such a great personality is lying on the bed of arrows. Imagine the pain that he's going through. So think about the pain of Hanuman and all the Vanaras who love the Lord completely, and they are seeing the Lord, both the Lords lying on the bed of arrows, right in front of them. Body completely pierced. Not even a single space was without arrows. Not a single space. Vibhishna, Sugriva, Nila, Divida, Mainda, Sushena, Kumuda, Angada, Hanuman, and all the others are sunk in grief. Rama and Lakshmana are lying motionless and they're breathing softly, and nobody can find Indrajit anywhere. Now Indrajit is saying, yes, Rama and Lakshmana are bound by my arrows. Not even the Devas and Gandharvas together cannot release them. Then he goes ahead and he pierces Nila, Maida, Dvivida, Jambuvan, Hanuman, Gavaksh, Angada with so many arrows. And then Indrajit returns to Lanka. Pa, 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 he is victorious. He comes to his father. I'll just finish out the second portion first. He comes to his father, tells him, I am so successful. So in the meanwhile, Vibhishna tells Sugriva, Rama and Lakshmana, they are certainly going to come back and all that. Then he chants some mantras. I mentioned this yesterday, that Vibhishna will chant some mantras so that Sugriva can see through the illusions of the Rakshasas. So Vibhishna has that potency to be able to see the illusory forms of Shuk and Saran and Shardul. And that's why he was able to capture them and give them to Lord Rama, who compassionately released them. So Vibhishna has that power. So he transfers that, he helps Sugriva also get that same power. And then he says, look at their faces. Rama and Lakshmana are still radiant. A dead body is not radiant. Rama and Lakshmana are still very radiant. Lakshmi is always with them. So we should not worry at all. Lakshmi is with them. What does this mean? That means that Sita Ma is actually with them right this instant. Sita Ma is physically, maybe she is in Ashok Vatika. But Sita is always with Rama. And because Rama is always with Lakshmana, there is no possibility of auspiciousness to leave them at all. Sita Ma is the embodiment of auspiciousness. She is the embodiment. If we think about what is auspicious, we have to say it is Sita. It is, those are synonyms, you can say. The fountain of auspiciousness is Mother Sita. And she is always with Rama. So look at this. It's all okay. So Indrajit, as we saw, he goes back to Ravana. Ravana says, this is so cruel. So cruel. He says, force Sita to sit on Pushpak Viman and make her see Rama and Lakshmana. Make her see them. She should view their bodies from the Pushpak Viman, and knowing that Rama is now definitely dead, Sita will come running to him. The gods force Sita Ma to climb on top of the Pushpak Viman. Trijata is also forced to climb over there. And then the Pushpak Viman takes them to the battlefield, and she's hovering in the sky. And she sees Lord Rama and Lakshmana lying on the bed of arrows. And Ravana has already announced to the city, don't worry, this Rama and Lakshmana, they came here with this huge army. They are absolutely obliterated. They're completely killed by Indrajit. And now Sita is seeing, and she's seeing blood pouring out of their bodies. She is seeing their lotus petal-like eyes completely closed, and tears of love are pouring out of her eyes. Tau drishtva bhratarau tatra praviro purusha rishabhav. Looking at the two brothers who are very, very powerful, and they are the best of men, Purusha Rishabhav, Shayano Pundarikaksho, their beautiful lotus petal-like eyes. Shayano means they are lying. Pavaki. So they are too young, and they look like they are radiant like fire. Sharatalpa gatau viro tatha bhuto nararishabha dukkhartha subrisham sita karunam vilalapah. Karunam, extremely sad, and Vilalapa means she's raving, she's crying, she's lamenting loudly. She says that her body has many auspicious signs that indicate that she is going to bear children and that she can never be a widow. So, how is it possible that her beloved Rama is now lying on the ground? How is it possible? How is this possible? So there are um, uh, uh, there are many auspicious signs on her. Uchur lakshanika ye mam putrini avidhava iti cha te asya sarve hate rama ajana nino anrita vadinaha. So are those people who mentioned that she is very auspicious, were they just lying? And she looks at the various signs of auspiciousness on her body. Her teeth are like this, her hair is like this, her hair is very soft and it's very it's not like Shupnaka's hair, which is very coarse and all that. It's very soft, it's very gentle. Her eyes are like this, her nails are like this. So she gives so many different physical signs on her that show that she is very auspicious. And the very Rama and Lakshmana who brought her out into the forest and rivers, crossed the mighty ocean, now they have left her alone and helpless. And she's thinking, what is Mother Kausalya going to think? What is she going to think? She must be eagerly waiting for me. And what is she going to think? Trijata is also on the Pushpak Viman, as we saw. Trijata, she says, Rama is certainly alive. Pari devaya manam tam rakshasi Trijata abravit ma vishadam krita devi bharta ayam tava jivati. Bharta ayam tava jivati. That means, oh Devi, my dear celestial lady, your beloved husband is still alive. What are the indications? The troops have not yet lost their nerve. They are calmly watching over Rama and Lakshmana because um, because they know that Rama and Lakshmana will do something to get out of it. Nothing can actually bind them, so they will get out of this. So they are just waiting for the Lord to continue with this pastime. They're just waiting. It's not as if they have lost all hope and they have they have started lamenting and they're running about here and there. No. Plus, Pushpaka was actually built by Brahma, and it was actually built by Vishwakarma for under the directions of Brahma, and it was given to Kubera. So it is a very auspicious. It is a very auspicious vehicle. Losing one's husband is not the signs of auspiciousness. So the Pushpak Viman would have never agreed to carry Sita Ma had she not been auspicious. And no danger can ever come to them. Nobody can defeat them. They are still radiant in form and features. Idam the tu mahat chinnam shanai pashvasya maithili nisamjagnyo api ubhav etau na eva lakshmir viyujyate. The Lakshmi, that luster has not yet gone away from their form. So do not worry. So it says the grace of Lakshmi is still upon them. The same words echoed by Vibhishan is what is being stated by Trijata as well. So Sita Ma is auspiciousness personified. She will never leave Rama. So as soon as she hears Trijata say these words, Mother Sita, she feels very happy. And then they return to Ashok Vatika on Pushpak Viman. Sita Ma continues Rama and Lakshmana. So meanwhile, Rama slowly comes out of his consciousness and he sees Lakshmana riddled with arrows and he's covered with blood. Face is dusty. So, so Rama laments the condition of Lakshmana. So think about the Lord. He too is pierced with arrows. He too doesn't have a single point in his place where he's not lacerated with arrows. Blood is pouring out of his body as well. He too is very it's he's completely full of wounds and everything, but he doesn't care about that. He's just thinking about what is happening to Lakshmana. He says, even if he were to regain Sita, what is the use when his brother is no longer with him? Kim no me Sitaya karyam kim karyam jivitena va shayanam yo adya pashyami bhratram yuddhi nirjitam. It's what is the what is the use of regaining Sita at the cost of Lakshmana? What is the use? If Lakshmana, and we have already seen Lord lament for Sita Ma and everything. This shows how much he loves his bhaktas, how much he loves Lakshmana. It's not a diss on Sita Ma, by the way. It is just how much he loves Lakshmana as well. If Lakshmana dies, he too shall die. Parityakshyami aham pranan. I will discard my life. Vanarananam tu pashyatam. O Vanaras, all of you will see. Yadi panchatvam apannah Sumitra anandavardhanah. If the person who gives great joy to Mother Sumitra, that is loses his life, then I too will do that. When I go back to Ayodhya and mothers Kausalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra ask me, where is my Lakshmana? What should I say? Kim no vakshyami Kausalya mataram kim no Kaikeyim katham ambam Sumitramscha putra darshana lalasam. They want to see Lakshmana, and these three mothers are going to come in front of me and say, where is my putra? What should I tell them? What will I tell my other brothers? That I lost Lakshmana. During the time of my grief, Lakshmana used to console me in the past 1 year whenever Lakshmana was there to wipe away my tears. Now I am crying. Why isn't Lakshmana wiping my tears? I'm crying for him. Why isn't Lakshmana waking up and crying and drying my eyes? Tvam nityam survishannam mam ashvasayasi Lakshmana. To ashvasa means to give a lot of comfort, to console, and Lakshmana used to do this. Now, why isn't he doing it? Gata asur na adya shaknoshi mam artham abhibhashitam. I'm crying like this. Why isn't he wiping my tears? And he talks about the greatness of Lakshmana. So Kartavir Arjun is also known as Sahasrabahu. So that means that he had 500 arms on either side. So through 500 arrows, so through 1,000 arms, he could shoot 500 arrows at one go. Lakshmana can do the same thing in just a split second with just 2 arms. Split second, 500 arrows are out of his bow. Split second. Now, how did such a mighty hero fall before one Rakshasa? It says, Kishkinda, Sugriva, you return to Kishkinda with all the other Vanaras. And the monkeys are sobbing. They are sobbing. So, Shushruvas tasya te sarve vanara paridevitam vartayam chakshur ashruni netre Krishna itara ikshana. Krishna, Krishna means dark. So, so looking at Lord Rama's dark eyes weeping like this, they are also weeping. Then then Vibhishna returns, but all the monkeys, they think that he's looking so much like Indrajit. So maybe it's Indrajit who has come back, and they all panic and they run away. Then Vibhishna sees, and he has seen that Rama is recovering from his swoon. And Sugriva understands that the army has understood Vibhishna for Indrajit. The Jambavan is saying, no, 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 this is our friend Indrajit, is our friend Vibhishna, is not Indrajit. And Vibhishna is lamenting, oh, I am forced to see Rama and Lakshmana like this. Sugriva assures him that they are not suffering. Do not worry. It's okay. Sugriva then talks to Sushena. Sushena is saying that Sushena, you are the Ayurvedic acharya in here. You know how to heal wounds. Go ahead and treat Rama and Lakshmana. So how? Let's take them to Kishkinda. You deal with them, treat their wounds, and then let them come back over here. And the meanwhile, I will hold the fort. We will attack the Rakshasas, and we will do everything. Sushena tells Sugriva that during the Deva Danava war, Brihaspati revived the Devatas using some magical herbs that came from the churning of the ocean. The ocean is, during the Samudra Manthan, during the churning of the milk ocean, we got so many wonderful things, including Amrita, right? So one of the things was wonderful herbs. So those herbs are now placed in the mountains between Chandragiri and Dronagiri. And one of those herbs, Mrit Sanjeevani, is what we need right now. So Sampati, Panasa, and other monkeys know of these herbs. Let Hanuman go to Sanjeeva Karani. Let Hanuman go and bring Sanjeeva Karani and Vishalya Karani. Sanjeeva Karani is just nothing but Mrita Sanjeevani. So let Hanuman go ahead and do that. So this is the first time we hear about the medicinal herbs. But during the Naga Pasha time, Hanuman does not fly. It's not Hanuman's uh, uh, it's not Hanuman's opportunity to serve the Lord right now. He will get it, but this particular pastime was tailor-made for another devotee. Suddenly, the clouds are aflash with lightning. Fierce wind blows, earths quake with fear. Huge serpents are going into the depths of the ocean. And after some time, Garuda appears. Garuda is coming in. He is the mighty Vainateya. Tato muhurta Garudam Vainateya Mahabalam Vanara Dadrashuhu Sarve Jvalantam Iva Pavakam. Jvalantam Pavakam. He is blazing like the fire. Okay. And seeing him, all of Kadru's children, they all begin to slither away. Garuda is a natural enemy of the snakes. Snakes are scared out of their wits when they see Garuda. They are scared. So when Garuda appeared, all of these they just began to go away. They couldn't they couldn't withstand the pressure of being close to Garuda. Tam agatam abhiprekshya nagaste vipradodravahu tai yaistau satpurushau baddhau shadabhutir mahabalau. So there are a couple of regional versions, not couple, there's just one regional version that says that Hanuman flew to Garud Loka, Vaikunta, and he asked Garuda to come down and serve the Lord. That is not mentioned in any bona fide scripture. For a bhakta like Garuda, he doesn't need encouragement from someone else to come and serve the Lord. He could very well see the Lord has tied himself up with Nagas just so that Garuda can come and save him. He himself can see it. If we think of Nagas and we think about the enemy, it's naturally Garuda. Even ordinary people like us can think about it. What about Garuda himself? Wouldn't he know that? So Garuda knows the Lord is doing this just for him. So he is coming down. He knows the Lord's mood. He wants to show he wants the world to know how much the Lord loves Lakshmana, and therefore he allows the Lord to lament and give that particular beautiful quotes, and then he comes in. This is the time. This is the time, and he comes in. So nobody prompts Garuda to come. Nobody does that. Garuda comes by his own accord. And as soon as he comes, he doesn't even have to tear the snakes up. Because as soon as he appears, the snakes are all scared out of their wits and they all just run away. He looks at Rama and Lakshmana and he touches their faces that look like the full moon. Tata Suparna. Suparna is one of the many names of Garuda. Suparna literally means the one who has golden feathers, by the way. Kakutstau, that means the descendants of Kakutsta, that is Lord Rama and Lakshmana. Drishtva pratyabhe binandya cha. He sees all the wounds on their beautiful body. Vimamarsha cha panibhya mukhe chandra samaprabhe. And he slowly touches their faces that are shining, chandra samaprabhe, that are shining like the full moon. All the wounds on the bodies disappear. And their faces are shining like with the luster of molten gold. Vainateyena samsprishtas tayo samruruhu vranaha suvarane cha tanu snigdhe tayor ashu babhuvatuh. Vainateyena samsprishtas. As soon as Vainateya touches them, all the wounds heal. They completely disappear. Suvarane, that means Suvarane snigdhe. Snigdha is a complexion. They're shining, the complexion of gold, and they're so beautiful. Their power, radiance, firmness of purpose, keenness of intellect, and faculty of memory double up. How? The Lord is infinite. So infinity times 2 is also infinity. This is how much the Lord manifests his radiance and power and all that in the company of his bhakta. So the Lord is always powerful. The Lord is always radiant. But when a bhakta is close by, he loves to show even more of his potencies. His bhaktas, he will do anything for his bhaktas. And then Garuda tenderly, lovingly clasps Rama and Lakshmana to his chest. Lovingly clasps them. And Rama says, Garuda, through your grace, we have both escaped some great danger. Who are you? Because when I see you, I'm thinking of my father, Dasharatha. and my grandfather Aja. Now, Garuda's nephew is Jatayu. When Rama saw Jatayu, he said, I'm reminded of my father Dashratha. Now he's seeing one generation up, and therefore he says, I'm thinking of my father Dashratha and I'm thinking of my grandfather Aja. So every word that comes out of Rama, full of purpose, full of beauty, incredible beauty. Yatha Tatam Dashratham. Tatam means my father. Dashratha is obviously his name. Yatha Ajam cha Pitamaham. Pitamaha means grandpa. And Aja is the name of Dashratha's father. Tata Bhavantam Asadya Krishayam me prasidati. I'm the happiness that I feel when I see my father and my grandfather, I'm feeling that same happiness when I'm seeing you. And the tears of joy are blinding his eyes. And he says, Aham sakhate kakutsta priya prano bahishcharaha garutman iha samprapto yuvayo sahya karana. Aham sakhate kakutsta. I am your friend, O Kakutsta. Priya prano bahishcharaha. You are more important to me than my own life. Garutman iha samprapto yuvayo sahya karanat. Yuvayo, for you two young people, sahya, to say, to serve, for karanat, for that particular purpose, I came here. I came here just to serve you. Because Garuda knows the Lord went through this pastime just so that he can see Garuda. And Garuda knows that he has to come and serve the Lord. Yuvayo Sahya Karanat. And then he doesn't stop over there. He advises the Lord. He advises the Lord. These serpents are very inimical, venom-fanged sons of Kadru, and out of sense of out of friendship and a sense of duty, I have come here. So the bhakta will always follow the duty of serving the Lord. Imam Shrutva, as soon as I heard, tu vritta antam tvaramano aham agataha sahasa yuvayo snehat sakitvam anupalaya. Yuvayo snehat, out of my love, and sakitvam, out of my friendship, and anupalayan, out of my sense of duty towards you, I came over here. And he says, thankfully, you're now free from the noose. But Rama, please be careful. Garuda knows the power of Lord Narayana. Garuda knows that this is Lord Narayana standing right in front of him. Garuda knows that there is nothing that can ever harm him. He knows it. But out of supreme affection for the Lord, he says, please be very careful. These Rakshasas do not fight ethically. You're always fighting ethically. Can you please just be careful. Prakritya Rakshasa Sarve Sangrame Kuta Yodhinaha. Kuta, that means it's a lot of deceit. Yodhinaha. Sangrame, that means in the war. Yodhinaha, this is how they fight. Shuranam Shuddha Bhavanam. Bhavantam Arjavam Balam. You will always fight very ethically. Garuda embraces him. Once again calls him my beloved friend. He says, you are the embodiment of dharma. And he says, even for your enemies, you are the ocean of compassion. Sakhi, oh my dear friend, Raghava, my beloved Raghava, my beloved Rama, Dharmagnya, you are the knower of Dharma. Ripunam api vatsala. Api means even for Ripu. Ripu means enemy. That's why one of the names of Shatrughna is Ripudaman. Ripunam api vatsala. Even his enemies, anyone who opposes him also, Lord Rama will protect them. Lord Rama loves even his enemies. He loves even his enemies. So all the people who have died at his hands, Virad or Kabandha or Vali, Ravana, Indrajit, Atikai, all of them that have died at the hands of either Rama and Lakshmana, they haven't actually died. They haven't. It's not as if it's not as if the soul's journey was compromised in any way. Of course, Rama and Kumbhakarna are on a different category because they were Jaya and Vijaya and they had to come as Rakshasas for 3 janmas. And therefore, it's not as if they got moksha at this particular time. They will get it only after Lord Krishna deals with them. Because that was the curse from the Kumara brothers. But nevertheless, the Lord will always protect everyone. He will always protect them. So now the question is, why aren't we taking the shelter of the Lord? Why aren't we just thinking about the Lord? These enemies are constantly thinking about the Lord, albeit it's in a negative way, but they're constantly thinking about him. And he is very compassionate even to them. So when are we going to come in that position to constantly think about the Lord? When is that going to take place? When is that going to take place? So Garuda says Rama is Rupunam api vatsala. Even for his enemies, he is the ocean of compassion. He is the ocean of compassion, even for his enemies. Abhyanatam ichchami gamishyami yatha agatam. Garuda then says, O Rama, I bid you farewell. And he says, Rama, once you have killed all the enemies in the battlefield, you will know who we are. You will know the nature of a bond. Naja kautuhalam karyam sakitvam pradikankshina kritakarma rane veera sakitvam prativetsyasi. Sakitvam, you will know our friendship. You will know our friendship after Krita Karma, after you have finished your Leela over here, you will know the nature of our bond. And Garuda is predicting the future. See, Hanuman predicted the future to Sita Ma herself. Garuda predicts the future to Lord Rama himself. He says, I promise you, you will win over Ravana. You will recover Mother Janaki. Don't worry. So in a way, Kabandha Rakshas also says the same thing. He does. But when Garuda says it, it has a different level of emotion tied to it. Because because Garuda knows who Rama is. He once again circumambulates them, once again embraces Rama lovingly. See, Garuda is used to holding Rama on his back. As Narayana, he's used to holding him on his back. It's very difficult for him to stop embracing the Lord. It is very difficult. How many times has he embraced him? That close contact with the Lord. That close contact. He wants to hug him. He wants to embrace him. He circumambulates him because, oh, this is the Supreme Lord. But this is my Sakha. This is my friend. This is my friend. And he embraces him again. Lovingly. Very lovingly. So when Rama embraced Hanuman, his limbs were thrilled with joy that the Lord is giving all of his affection to him. Here, Garuda is once again giving all of his affection. What can he say to the Lord who chose to be bound by those sharp-fanged snakes just to give him the opportunity to come and serve him? For one devotee, he did this wonderful pastime. For just one devotee. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? See, Lord Narasimhadev appeared for one devotee, for Prahalad, because one 5-year-old boy said, the Lord exists everywhere, even in this pillar. And the Lord manifested there and killed the tormentor of his bhakta. He did that for one devotee. So, for one devotee also, the Lord can conduct some major pastimes. Major pastime. And that's what we're seeing over here. So Garuda is thinking, my Lord went through this much pain. He allowed each and every part of his transcendental body to be lacerated with sharp arrows. He allowed nagas to pierce him and bite him. He allowed that to happen. He fell on a bed of arrows. He did that. He allowed blood to pour out profusely through every single pore of his body. He allowed that to happen. For my sake, this is how much he loves me. This is his affection towards me. So what can the Bhakta do? Oh Rama, I too love you. I too love you. And I'm so grateful I got to see you. I'm so grateful. And he says, you will understand the nature of my bond, my dear Rama. You will understand it. You will know how close we are. That I'm always with you. That I am your vehicle. I am your vehicle. You can climb on my back. I'll take you wherever you want to go. I'm your trusted servant. Oh Rama, you did so much for me. I love you too. That is it. He embraces him again and again and again. He loves him so much. Why? Because he saw how much the Lord loves him. And then, after embracing him, he goes back in the sky. Iti evam uktva vachanam suparna shigra vikramaha ramam ja virujam kritva madhye tesham vanaokasam pradakshinam tada kritva parisvajya cha viryaman. Pradakshinam means he circumambulate. Parisvajya means hug. Viryaman is the Lord, of course. Jagama akasham avishya suparna pavano yatha. Almost like how the wind just blows, He went back. Yes, the limit of his service is done. He doesn't say, okay, Rama, now that I'm here, do you want me to do something else? Do you want to now climb on my back and I can continue to do something else? No, because he knows that it's not his place over there. He knows that, because the Vanaras were given the opportunity to assist the Lord in the battlefield. The Vanaras had given the opportunity, and therefore he was okay. I'm fine, but I'm fine. I know that I have to go back, but he is very grateful and he's appreciative of the fact that the Lord conducted this major pastime just for him. Just for him. And now think about all the demons of Kali Yuga who praise Indrajit, stating that, oh, he actually defeated Rama and Lakshmana. Think about that. This is why we should have Ramayana classes, so that we understand the true motive of the Lord, because that is all given in Valmiki Ramayana. The motive is given. It's given. We seeing this. Garuda came in just for the Lord. The Lord tied himself up just so that Garuda can come and serve him. That's it. We saw it right now. So he chooses to be in this position, not that he was placed in that position. Nobody can defeat the Lord. He's invincible. He's completely invincible. Nobody can defeat him. So if anyone says, going forward, oh, Indrajit, he was so powerful, he defeated Rama and Lakshmana, please read Valmiki Ramayana through the guidance of bona fide acharyas. You will know what the true meaning of Naga Pasha pastime, or later on we'll see the Brahmastra pastime as well. You will know the true nature of that later on, not now. So now everyone is happy. Rama and Lakshmana are safe, and they wave their tails. So this is a sign of the Vanara's happiness. They wave their tails, they roar like lions, and then the war drums and kettle drums and everything sound in all directions. So we have to understand that Sita Ma will definitely would have gotten the news that Rama and Lakshmana are okay. There was no situation where it's like, the Vanara camp did one battle cry just to let Sita Ma know that everything is fine. There is nothing like that is mentioned, but she can hear the clamor coming from. So right now everything was silent, and then suddenly now the Vanaras are roaring with joy. They're jumping up and down. So obviously it's an indication that everything is fine with Rama and Lakshmana. So she knows that. The monkeys, for close combat, they use their nails and teeth, but for throwing things at each other, they uproot trees, broke off the mountaintops. They're ready for battle, and they're bringing down the gates of Lanka. The Rakshasas are struck with wonder. Ravana is surprised. He thought that Rama and Lakshmana are completely incapacitated with Naga Pasha. And then the spies say, "Oh no, 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 no! They got rid of they got rid of the. We're all scared of them." Then Ravana says, "Dhumraksha, you go and you kill." Now, so this is a very common theme. All the Rakshasas who are about to die, they see very evil omens. So this is one thing. The next thing is they don't really care that they are seeing very evil omens. The common evil omens are, buzzards or vultures flying above their flag post. Jackals are howling. The horses are crying or stumbling or tripping or dust is pouring. It's always something like that. And all the Rakshasas that are about to die, all of them see this. They really couldn't care less. Why? Because they are extremely foolish. But then he continues on. Terrible battle. Anjaneya, he just rushes him with a huge boulder, destroys the chariot, and then with large trees, he just destroys all of Dhumraksha's followers. And then he takes one mountain peak, and then he just bam, he just crashes it down on Dhumraksha and kills him. Done. All the Rakshasas, all the remaining Rakshasas are all terrified and they all run away. And all the Vanaras say, "Yay, Hanuman, hooray!" Then Ravana is very angry about the death of Dhumraksha. He says, "Vajradamshtra, you go." Vajradamshtra, I don't know if you can recognize the meaning of his name. Damshtra means teeth, Vajra means thunderbolt. So his teeth are as powerful as thunderbolts or like Vajras. Probably he's using those the sharp teeth to chew on the flesh of humans and all that. So he will pretty much all the Rakshasas were cannibals except for Vibhishana, or pretty much all the others were cannibals. So he's just using these very sharp, strong teeth to just eat a lot of meat and and all of that. So Vajradamshtra is also sent to the battle. He also sees very evil omens, but he doesn't really care. Monkeys are, "Yay! Let us go and kill another Rakshasa." And then Angada is very angry. He takes one huge tree and he destroys all the troops. Vajradamshtra is extremely angry, and then he keeps on harming the monkeys with lots of arrows. Then Angada takes one huge tree and he hits the Rakshasa, nothing happens. Then he takes a huge stone, destroys the chariot. That's great. And then he takes one huge mountain and he incapacitates Vajradamshtra. Then both of them begin to do some, close combat with fists. And then Angada jumps on top of the Rakshasa and then he tears off the head. And Vajradamshtra obviously dies because he doesn't have his head. So now Rakshasas are scared. All the Devatas were, "Wow, Angada, fantastic. This is great." Now, this is one of my favorites. It is one of my favorites. Now, knowing that Vajradamshra is dead, Ravana says, "Akampan, go ahead." Now, Akampan sees very evil omens and he begins to kampa. Here, Akampan literally means the one who does not shake, but he shakes when he sees the omens. He kampa, but then he's a no, nothing is going to happen, and he goes about. Now the Vanaras and Rakshasas, they are all fighting. The Akampan urges the Rakshasas, "Come on, let's kill all the Vanaras. Fight, 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 fight." Kumada, Nala, Mainda, Dvivida, they all destroy the Rakshasas with huge trees. Akampan, "Oh my God, let's go ahead and retaliate by riddling the Vanaras with more and more arrows." Then Hanuman comes forward. When Hanuman comes, all the Vanaras, "Yay, Hanuman has come over here. Hanuman has come." Then Akampan, he just showers a lot of arrows. Oh, arrows, 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 arrows. Hanuman springs up in the sky and he's looking like sun with 1,000 rays. Tears from my mountain peak, whirls it at Akampan. Akampan shoots multiple arrows and he grinds it to powder. Then Hanuman takes one tall tree and Akampan hits him with arrows. Then he takes another tree. The first tree was Ashvakarna. I don't know why I did not put it in here. I should have. The next one, there that species of tree is not mentioned. Hanuman then takes another tree. He hits Akampan on his head. Akampan falls on the earth and he's out. The Rakshasas are all afraid and they run back to Lanka. Apujayan deva ganas tada kapim swayam cha ramo atibalascha lakshmanaha tathaiva sugriva mukha plavam gama vibhishanas chaiva mahabalas tada. So now Akampan, I want to pay some more attention to this. So, by the way, when Akampana, I don't know if it's mentioned in here. I think I forgot to write that. When Hanuman killed Akampan, even Lord Rama and Lakshmana also praise Hanuman. Why? Hanuman just killed Dhumraksha. It's not as if the Lord personally came and gave the blessings. But when Akampan was killed by Hanuman, the Lord personally did that. Does anyone know why? Any guesses? Okay. Akampan was the first Rakshasa Akampan was the only Rakshasa to escape.
To tell about Mother Sita to Ravana.
Yeah. That is correct, Mataji. That is correct. So Akampan was the only person to escape Janasthana. So he goes to Ravana and says, this is the power of Lord Rama. He was the first person, as Mataji mentioned, to tell Ravana that you should kidnap Sita Ma, and then that would weaken Lord Rama, and then you can go ahead and kill him. Hanuman was one who went to Lanka and spoke to Mother Sita, and he soothed her, he consoled her, he assuaged her grief. But he doesn't destroys the person who caused her that grief as well. So you have to remember, when we hear the shloka, Anjana Nandanam Veeram Janaki Shokanashanam Kapishamaksha Hantaram Vande Lanka Bhayankaram. I mentioned this during Sundarakanda when Hanuman kills Aksha. But the Janaki Shokanashanam is what I want to pay attention to right now. Janaki Shokanashanam. So it's not just enough. Shokanashanam means to destroy the Shoka. So just by, comforting her, okay, the Shoka was very important. Of course, Rama's stories were recited, Ramanama was recited and everything. And obviously that gave Mother Sita a great deal of comfort. But Hanuman goes one level beyond that. He goes one level beyond that. He destroys the person who had that idea, the base, treacherous, deceitful idea that Ravana should kidnap Sita Ma. Ravana did not really think about it. Akampan was the first person to say, Ravana, please go ahead and kidnap Sita Ma, and that is going to weaken Lord Rama, and then it is easy for you to go ahead and kill him. He was the first person to do that. So Hanuman, right from the very depths, the very roots, he destroys the sorrow of Sita Ma. He does that. And Rama appreciates it. He understood. And he appreciates it. This is the glory of Hanuman. This is the glory of Hanuman. It's not that, okay, Hanuman destroyed Rakshasas. Yes, he does. But there is a purpose. He's killing him. He is killed Akampan because he is Janaki Shokanashanam. He's destroying the very reason why Sitama was in that place. He's destroyed that as well. I mean, this is why we need to read Valmiki Ramayana. This is why. Because no other version can help us connect the dots. Valmiki Ramayana, because it is completely authentic, because it is completely truthful, because it is perfect, because it was sanctioned by Lord Brahma, by by all the celestials, by the Ayodhyavasis, and most importantly by Lord Rama himself. Because of that, we know that whatever we are reading is completely true. We know that. And now, when we know that things are all true, we can easily connect the dots. In some other version, I don't know which one, it is mentioned that Sugriva killed Akampan with just one smash on his head. That is not correct. That is, it's not right. Hanuman killed Akampan. The person who gave Sitama so much sorrow, who wanted to purposely give a lot of sorrow to Lord Rama. Purpose was to give sorrow to Lord Rama so that he can weaken him. To that particular person, he was killed by Hanuman. Now, Ravana is very furious. Oh, okay, Akampana is killed. So he talks to his minister, Prahasta, you go ahead. Because we need to destroy them, or else Lanka is going to be completely under the attack. So go ahead and go ahead. So Prahasta says, okay, I have already told you that it's necessary to give Sitama back to Lord Rama, but I'm going to be loyal to you because I've received countless gifts from you. I'm going to lay my life down for your sake. So let's prepare. Narantaka, Kumbhahanu, Mahanada, Sumanata, all of them also march behind him. So I hope everyone remembers that Prahasta was the one who was asked to guard the eastern gate, and Lord Rama had set Nila, the son of Agni, to guard the eastern gate as well. So once again, Prahasta is also, so just remember that. Prahasta also encounters a lot of inauspicious omens, but he pays no regard whatsoever, and he just happily goes about. And then Rama asks Vibhishana, who is this huge Rakshasa, Vibhishana? Vibhishana says that he's leader of 1/3 of the troops in Lanka, and Prahasta has arrived. Fierce battle. Ministers are also rushing into battle. Dvivida kills Narantaka, Durmukha kills Sumanata, Jambavan kills Mahanada, Tara kills Kumbhahanu, Prahasta, Narantaka, this is just one Narantaka. There is another Narantaka that comes later on. Okay. This is not the son of this Narantaka is not the son of Ravana. This Narantaka is one of Prahasta's ministers, and Prahasta himself is one of the ministers of Ravana. So just keep that in mind. So Prahasta is continuing to put showers of arrows, and then he goes towards Nila, who is guarding the eastern gate, pierces him with a large number of arrows. Nila kills the horses, breaks the bow, takes a huge boulder and smashes it on Prahasta's head and kills him. All the Rakshasas are sad to see him dead. Now, I'm thinking 30 minutes. Okay, so now we are going to go into the 58th chapter. I'm sorry, the 59th chapter of Yuddha Kanda. This is one of the pivotal chapters of Yuddha Kanda. There are so many key points that are mentioned in this 59th chapter that are absolutely crucial for us to remember throughout. So, for example, one question that arises is that did Rama and Lakshmana forget that they were supreme? Did they ever forget the fact that they were supreme lords? Another question is only Rama supreme, or is Lakshmana also the supreme lord? Another question is, see, people say that Rama can do so many things, then why didn't he go to Himalayas and come back? Why didn't he do that? Another question is, if he is so heavy, how is it possible for Garuda to lift him? How? There are many questions that we have, but not to worry. All the answers are given in Valmiki Ramayana. I should say, all intelligent questions answers are given in Valmiki Ramayana. Valmiki doesn't really account for the base foolishness of a lot of people, but he does account for intelligent questions or given intelligent answers. Yes, the Lord is very powerful. So, does the Lord remember that he is the supreme? All of those questions are going to be answered. Another one is, how does the Lord behave with Ravana? Was he noble to the person who kidnapped his beloved wife? Was he noble with that person? Let's see. By the way, this is not the final battle. This is the first time Ravana enters the battlefield. This is not the final battle. So we still have a long way to go to the final battle. We haven't as it touched Kumbhakarna. We haven't gone through Atikai. We haven't gone to Indrajit Vadam, of course. So many other things have to take place before Ravana comes in the final battle. But let's just go on with this. I don't think I can complete this entire chapter in 30 minutes. And I have a very hard cutoff in 30 minutes. But still, let us do as many things as we can till then, and then we can continue this next week as well. So Ravana cannot believe that Prahasta was killed by Nila. So he says, I understand that the caliber of the enemy is quite high, and they are not going to be subdued by ordinary, not by ordinary warriors. It needs me. I myself have to go in there. So he is running about, blazing like the fire. And the goddess of heroism is shining from Lord Rama. And he says, Vibhishna, can you tell me who's coming in here? Because the Lord has to act as a human being, right? So, of course, he knows that it is Ravana, but he has to act as a human being. So he says, Vibhishna, can you just tell me who is coming in here? Says, I can recognize Akampana. This is another Rakshasa of the same name. Indrajit is here. Atika is here. Mahodar. Pishacha, Trishira. Who was the other Trishira that we saw?
At Janasthana.
Correct. Thank you, Mataji. He was killed by Lord Rama, of course. And over here, he'll be killed by Hanuman. Kumbha, Nikumba, Narantaka. This Narantaka is the son of Ravana. The other Narantaka that we saw was actually the minister of Prahasta. So there are many Rakshasas that have the same name. So we have to just be, we have to just go with the flow. It's not that one Rakshasa is coming back alive to attack again. It's just that multiple Rakshasas have same names. And then finally, he says, that is Ravana. Rama praises the brilliance and power of Ravana. And then he says that my wrath that he has incurred by kidnapping Sita Ma, by kidnapping my beloved Sita, I'm going to turn towards him. Rama doesn't have a bad word for anyone, not even for Ravana. Not even for Ravana. He doesn't have a bad word for anybody. No one. See, even Hanuman, when he saw Ravana, he thinks, oh, look at how powerful this person is. If only he were in the path of dharma, he should be able to rule the worlds like Indra. This is Hanuman. Rama is also very similar. He is also, oh, he is so powerful. He's very brilliant. Rama doesn't have a bad word for anybody. So kind. So kind. And he's very encouraging. He's very encouraging. He's very kind. And Ravana is going about, okay, Rakshasas, go ahead, guard the inner fortifications. Sugriva comes out, he carries a huge mountain top. Ravana just shatters everything. Sugriva loses his consciousness. Gavaksh, Gavai, Sudamshtra, Rishabha, Jyotirmukha, Nala, all of them spring at Ravana. They pierces them with arrows. They all run to Lord Rama. And Rama says, okay, I'm going to face Ravana in battle. Then Lakshmana says, Rama, can you please give me one chance to fight Ravana? And then Rama says, okay, please go ahead. But please be careful. Lakshmana circumambulates the Lord and then he goes into the battlefield. So by the time, see, we have to remember Rama and Lakshmana were in the northern gate. Hanuman was in the western gate. And because he sees Ravana coming out, he comes over there and he attacks Ravana. So Lakshmana is still walking over, okay, to Ravana. And at that time, Anjaneya comes in. He takes his right hand, shouts, taunts that it was I who killed Aksha, your son. And then he strikes one blow on Hanuman's chest. And Ravana strikes one blow. Hanuman shivers again and again. Ravana is very powerful. He shivers, then he recovers courage and he returns the blow. Now Ravana begins to shake like a mountain in an earthquake. And Ravana says, Hanuman, I understand that you are very strong. I can see that. But Hanuman says, I'm not at all strong because you are still alive. You're not yet dead. And then Hanuman, because Hanuman spoke like this, Ravana is very enraged and he strikes Hanuman again. And Hanuman shakes violently. So seeing that Hanuman was at least temporarily incapacitated, Ravana is like, okay, fine, let me go towards Nil. And he showers him with arrows. So Nila was the one who killed Prahasta. So Ravana has a personal vendetta against him. So Hanuman recovers, and then he says that it's not okay for a person to fight with another one while he's fighting with one person. But because you started fighting with Nila, go ahead, fight with him. Then Nila contracts. He jumps on the flag post, then the tip of the bow, then the tip of the crown of Ravana, and is infuriating Ravana, actually. He's infuriating. Rama, Lakshmana, and Hanuman, they're all gazing with wonder at Nil. Then Ravana already knows that Nila is a son of Agni. He already knows that because he's already heard Shuk, Saran, and Shardul describe the lineages of the Vanaras and all that. So he already knows that Nila is a son of Agni. But look at the pride that he has. He thinks that if he were to use Agnyastra, which is the Agni's Astra, against the son of Agni, Agni is going to be so scared out of his wits that because Ravana is using him, that Agni is going to burn up his own son. So Ravana fires Agnyastra against Nila, but Agni is not going to hurt his own son. Nila escapes it because he is the son of fire, so he just escapes it. See, look at the arrogance. So by fire, Valmiki doesn't elaborate this, but he says he used Agnyastra against Nila, the son of Agni. So we can know that this is the utter hubris. It's nothing but the pride of Ravana, the arrogance of Ravana. Oh, I'm so powerful. Agni is also my slave. So let me use Agni Astra against the son of Agni. Let me go ahead and do that. But of course, Nila is completely unshaken. So Nila is, he takes some time to get out of the thing, but after shooting Nila with that arrow, Ravana comes to Lakshmana. Lakshmana by then has come over there, and Lakshmana says, Ravana, I challenge you to a war. So they exchange some heated words, fired arrows at each other. And Ravana uses a powerful weapon on Lakshmana. Then Lakshmana also returns the favor. Then he takes a mighty weapon that was given by Brahma. This is not Brahmastra, by the way. This is it is just a mighty weapon that was given to him by Brahma. And he sends it at Lakshmana. It pierces Lakshmana's chest and comes out from his back. So it pierces him through. So imagine what pain Lakshmana was going through. It pierces him through. So now, what does Ravana want to do? He wants to carry Lakshmana and show to others that, yes, this is my trophy. I've won him. Ravana immediately comes to Lakshmana and he tries to lift him up with his 20 hands. I am so powerful. But Valmiki says, Himavan Mandaro Merus Trilokyam va Saha Marehi Shakyam Bhujabhyam Uddartum na Shakyo Bharatanujaha. Bharatanuja means the younger brother of Bharata could not be moved by the strength of the person, Bhujabhyam. He could not be moved by the strength of that person. What's the person? He who was able to lift Himavan, that is Himalayas, Mount Mandara, and Mount Meru. He especially in Uttarakhand, we will see that Ravana lifted the entire Kailas mountain along with Lord Shiva seated on it. He was very, very powerful. So it doesn't mean that, oh, Shiva is less powerful than Ravana. No, that is not the case. Lord Shiva allows certain things to happen as well. He is a very elevated soul. It's not even possible for us to fathom how elevated he is. But he's a very elevated soul. He allows certain things to happen because he's in the business of glorifying the Lord. This is Lord Shiva's business. He has to glorify the Lord. This is his business. And therefore he does a lot of things that would ultimately result in the glorification of the Lord. And therefore, now, why? Why wasn't he able to move Lakshmana? Lakshmana, pierced by Ravana's arrow, reminds himself that he is Vishnu Tattva. How about that? Shaktya Brahmya tu Saumitra Tadito api stanantare Vishnor asmi. I am Vishnu Tattva. Vishnor asmi imam. Sabhagyam atmanam pratyanusmarat. Pratyanusmarat means to anusmarat, means he's reminding himself that he is Vishnor asmi. This is the first time. We will see another time where he says something else as well, along in the same flavor, but slightly different. So Lakshmana reminds himself that he is Vishnur Asmi. He reminds himself, you are Vishnu Tattva. So now we have different tattvas. Mayavadas believe, essentially, this is the basis of Mayavadism. Mayavadas believe that one tattva can become another tattva. So they agree that we are all Jiva tattvas, but they say that one day we will become either Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu, or Lord Vishnu is a Jiva. So either way. So this is the foundation of the concept of Mayavadism. But tattva, the Sanskrit word, Sanskrit of tattva is thatness. We don't really have an equivalent in English, but if we were to have it, it would be thatness. So that which makes you, you. That is the meaning of Jiva Tattva. So Vishnu is in Vishnu Tattva. This also includes Vishnu Tattva is also known as Vasudeva Tattva as well. It's almost like Vishuddha Sattva is also known as Vasudeva Sattva as well. So we have Vishnu Tattva, which includes Narayana, Srinivasa, Balaji, Lord Ranganatha, Rama, Krishna, Balaram, all of them. They're all Lakshmana, they're all part of Vishnu Tattva. Then we have another one called as Shiva Tattva. Shiva Tattva is Lord Shiva, Shambhu, or so there are a couple of Rudras, 11 Rudras, all of them come under Shiva Tattva. Then we have Jivatmas. Jivatmas are us. Jivatmas, whatever you see in this material world, could be tree, it could be a microbe, it could be a whale, it could be a human being, it could be a cat, a dog, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. This is Jiva Tattva. So Padma Purana says that in Jiva Tattvas we have 8 lakh 8 lakh species, 8.4 lakh species of Jiva Tattvas. We have that count in Padma Purana. 400,000 species of human beings are there. So we have so many plants, so many aquatics, and so many animals. So and birds. We have all of those different categories in there. A Jiva Tattva cannot become a Shiva Tattva. A Jiva Tattva cannot become a Vishnu Tattva. The best amongst the Jivas is Lord Brahma. Brahma is the topmost Jiva. And that's it. Brahma, of course, Lord Shiva is the son of Brahma. We heard that in Srimad Bhagavatam. However, Shiva is a different category. He is Shiva Tattva. And Vishnu Tattva is different, Jiva Tattva is different, and Shiva Tattva is different. There is never a point in time when a Jiva was in Vishnu Tattva. There is never going to be a time when Jiva will become a Vishnu Tattva. So let's say that this is our last Janma, and after this we go back to Vaikuntha Loka, one of the many spiritual planets in Vaikuntha Loka, whether it's Ayodhya Dham, whether it's Goloka Dham, whether it's Narasingha Dham, whatever Dham, we will continue to be Jivas even over there, because we will not ever stop being a Jiva. So this is what makes us us. So this particular soul that I am is a Jiva Tattva, and that's it. Now, Lakshmana is reminding himself that he is Vishnu Tattva. So even over there, we see, we have all these Vanaras, they are all in Jiva Tattva. We have all of these Rakshasas, they are all in Jiva Tattva. But Rama and Lakshmana are in Vishnu Tattva. A Jiva Tattva can never be equivalent to a Vishnu Tattva ever. So that's why Ravana, with that immense power that he has, he could not move Lakshmana. Why? Because he doesn't have a positive bond with Lakshmana. He has a negative bond. Does he have a bond? Absolutely. All Jiva Tattvas have got a bond with Vishnu Tattva that is never going to disappear. All Jiva Tattvas have it. But what is that bond that the Jiva wants to have with the Lord? The Lord will reciprocate accordingly. We have already seen that. So when a Rakshasa, when someone like Ravana is talking to, when someone like Ravana is trying to hold Lakshmana, is he constantly thinking of Rama and Lakshmana? Yes, he is. But he's thinking of them in the negative sense. So Lakshmana will also reciprocate negatively. He will also do that. He is not going to allow Ravana to lift him up. So please remember, Vishnur Asmi. Then Hanuman comes ahead and punches him. The force is so terrible that the Rakshasa falls on the floor and he's shaking like the leaf. Tena mushti praharena. Mushti means fist. Praharena means it's like one blow from the fist. Ravana Rakshaseshwara Jano bhyam agamad bhuma chachala cha papat cha. He is shaking. Papata means falling down. Chachala means he's shaking like the leaf, and he's shaking and he's falling on the ground. He's fallen on the ground. When couple of things before, Ravana and Hanuman were punching each other. Ravana was not completely incapacitated because Hanuman doesn't show that much anger. He doesn't exhibit that level of anger because Hanuman thinks Ravana is just against me. It is okay. He doesn't exhibit a lot of anger. Now he has incapacitated Lakshmana. So Hanuman is furious beyond belief. And he just does it. He is so angry with Ravana. And what happened? Blood flows from his eyes and ears and mouth. And Ravana swoons. And he is not able to stand up. And Ravana is like this, and all the devatas and rishis are incredibly happy. Ravana is swooning, senseless, blood is pouring out of all 20 heads, all 40 ears, all 40 eyes. The heads are not 40, how am I saying 40? All 20 eyes and 20 ears and 10 mouths, all of them are just pouring out blood. All of them are doing that. And this is the power of Hanuman. This is why we should not insult either the Lord or the Lord's bhaktas. So we saw how Hanuman, a bhakta, retaliates when someone is against the Supreme Lord. We saw that. Later on, we will see how the Lord retaliates when someone hurts one of his bhaktas. We will see that as well. We will see that. So Vaishnava aparadh should be very, very, very strictly avoided. It has huge consequence. It has huge consequence. So we should very strictly avoid insulting a Vaishnava. Now, Hanuman has pushed Ravana away. Hanuman gently lifts up Lakshmana. Valmiki says, he who could not be moved by the mighty Ravana was easily lifted by Hanuman, who approaches him with bhakti and friendship and places him before Sri Rama. Hanumanta Tejasvi Lakshmanam Ravanarditam Anayat Ragavabhyasham Bahubhyam Parigrihyatam Vayu Suno means the son of Vayu Suhritvena. Suhrit Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. Suhrit means friendship, and Bhaktya, that means bhakti. Paramaya chasaha shatrunam aprakampyo api laghutvam agamat kape. Laghutvam. He became light, very laghu, small for Hanuman. Why? Because Hanuman, see, both Jivatmas, both Hanuman and Ravana approached Lakshmana with the aim of lifting him up. Ravana approached him in a negative way. Lakshmana responded like that. He did not allow Ravana to lift him. Hanuman approached him this way with Suhrit Vena, that means with friendship, and Bhaktya, that means through devotion. Because of this, Lakshmana became light for Hanuman. Imagine, Lakshmana is Sheshnag. Sheshnag carries the entire universe on his hood. The entire universe, all 14 planetary systems. He carries it on his hood. However, this reminds me of one statue that I've seen in New York. There is one Greek hero called Atlas, and if we read the 12 labors of the 12 tasks of Hercules, one of the tasks was to get the golden apples, and he meets Atlas, who was holding just the earth on his shoulders, and it was a huge task for him. And there is a statue in Midtown Manhattan of Atlas holding just the earth, and it's very heavy for him. It's extremely heavy, but he's bearing it. He's the full gritty teeth, he's bearing it. How does Sheshnag hold the entire universe? It's almost as if a mustard seed is caught on the head. If a mustard seed is on the head of an ordinary human being, do we feel a lot of pain? No. We might not even register that we have a mustard seed on our head. That is the level of effort that Sheshnag takes on holding this entire 14 planetary system, one entire Brahmanda. That is the level of effort that he takes in holding one Brahmanda on his head. Lakshmana is the incarnation of that Sheshnag. Hanuman is a Jivatma. And Hanuman lifts the person who is holding the entire universe on his head. Why? Why? Suhritvena bhaktya. Because of the positive bond that Hanuman has for Lakshmana, the positive bond that Hanuman has for Lord Rama, Lakshmana becomes light for Hanuman. It's not as if he is no longer heavy. He becomes light for Hanuman. And therefore, Hanuman is easily lifting up Lakshmana. So, in Brahmotsavam, we see Lord Srinivasa being lifted by Hanuman, by horses, by swans, by Garuda, by Adisesha. So many wonderful devotees lift him up. We shouldn't think, first of all, we shouldn't think, this is just one statue, that itself is wrong. This is actually the actual Lord himself. Archa Vigrahas are the incarnations of the Lord. They are not just made out of metal or whatever it is. Archa Vigrahas are the incarnations of the Lord. And therefore, we should treat them is equivalent to the Lord. Oh, the Lord himself has come here. That's what we should say. How are all of these vehicles, Garuda, Hanuman, the swan, Sheshnag, I think there is even, what is it, horses. How are these able to lift? Then Kalpavriksha is also there. How are they able to lift the Lord? How are they able to do that? Because Sukhritvena Bhaktya, there is a bond between them. See, a bond automatically exists between a Jivatma and Paramatma. As soon as we chose to come to this material world, the Bhagavan said, okay, fine, you want to come over there? I'm not going to leave you alone. Even if you want me to leave you alone, I am not going to do that. I'm going to come with you. I'm going to hold your hand throughout. And hopefully one day you want to come back to me. Hopefully one day. But I'm giving you that choice. But still, I will never abandon you. Quietly, silently, if you want me to observe, I will do that. But I will never abandon you. So Bhagavan comes down as Paramatma, holding the Jivatma, whether the Jivatma is taking the form of a pig or a boar or a cat or a dog or a tree or a whale or a human being or an elephant or whatever it is. Paramatma is there with that Jivatma. But when the Jivatma shows love towards the Lord will reciprocate. He will reciprocate. Okay, this Jivatma wants to come closer to me. Now let me rush towards him. Ye yatha mam prapadyanti tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. The degree with which you approach me, I will approach you in the same degree. That is his promise. That is his promise. So because Hanuman has shown that level of affection, that is Sukritam, has shown the level of bhakti, therefore Lakshmana is like, yes, this is my bhakta, this is my best friend, so I am going to reciprocate. And he becomes light. So this is why in Brahmotsavam in Tirupati and all that, when we see the Lord being carried by so many wonderful bhaktas, we shouldn't say, today it's Garuda Vahanam, okay. Today it is Hamsa Vahanam, okay. No. Today, this particular Hamsa means swan, this particular swan has proven its love for the Lord. And so the Lord has become light for the swan. We need to admire that bond. We have got to admire that bond. Remember, Ravana, very powerful, very strong, 20 arms. He couldn't lift this for the Lakshmana. He couldn't lift this Lakshmana. But one swan is lifting the Lord. There is a bond in there. Hanuman is lifting the Lord. There is a bond in there. There is a bond. We have already seen Hanuman has lifted Rama and Lakshmana multiple times. We have seen that Angada has lifted up Lakshmana. There is a bond. There is a bond. But especially over here, when Ravana was not able to lift Lakshmana, and Hanuman is doing it, Valmiki is explaining this phenomenon. This phenomenon is Suhritvena Bhaktya, with that affection that Hanuman has showered upon Lakshmana. Lakshmana becomes light for Hanuman. Okay? Now the next thing is Lakshmana. Does Hanuman have to go to Himalayas and bring the Dronagiri right away? Actually, no. Lakshmana reminds himself that he is part of Vishnu and he heals himself. Ashvastascha Vishalyascha Lakshmana Shatru Sudana. Lakshmana is Shatru Sudana, the one who destroys his enemies. Vishnur Bhagam. I am part of Vishnu. We are also part of Vishnu. We are all, but we all belong to him. We are not him, because we are not Mayavadis. We know that there is a distinction between Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva. But Vishnu Tattva person, that is Lakshmana, is saying, I am part of Vishnu. Vishnur Bhagam. Bhag means part. It's a portion. Amimamsyam. Amimamsyam means I am inconceivable. Atmanam. I am. Pratyanusmaran. He is once again reminding himself that I am Vishnur Bhagam. And he has already healed himself. What should we know? We should approach the Lord only through bhakti. Lakshmana becomes light for Hanuman. Brute strength is not going to budget the Lord. You cannot say, Rama, look at me, how strong I am. You better do my will, huh? Nothing like that is going to happen. Next one. People think that only Rama is the incarnation of the Lord. Nope. Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna are also the incarnations of the Lord. All of them. All of them are incarnations. Lakshmana is also part of Vishnu Tattva. Next, Rama and Lakshmana know who they are. They know it. Because Lakshmana reminded himself twice that he is Vishnur Asmi, then he says Vishnur Bhagam. I am part of Vishnu. I am Vishnu Tattva. He reminds himself of that. He doesn't really go about saying, oh, do you know that I'm Vishnu? Oh, do you know that I'm Supreme? No, he doesn't say that. It's just at this time, he thinks about it, he heals himself, and that's it. What does this mean? They are capable of healing themselves, then why do they need Himalayas? Why do they need Hanuman to go to the Himalayas? It's not necessary at all. It was not at all necessary. But the Lord acts this way so that he can provide Hanuman the opportunity to go to Himalayas. Hanuman is glorified. Even to this day, when you think of Hanuman, we think of Hanuman carrying this huge mountain. We think about him. He is famous. He has become almost synonymous to that particular image. Oh, we think of Hanuman means he's carrying this mountain. He's become that. Oh, Hanuman saved Lakshmana. Did he save him? Not really, because Lakshmana is Vishnu Tattva. He is capable of healing himself. But because of the Sukritvena and Bhakti and all that, Lakshmana is giving that opportunity to Hanuman. Hanuman doesn't go there once, but he goes there twice. He goes twice. So even before, the first time it's by Indrajit, both Rama and Lakshmana are incapacitated by Brahmastra. Then Lakshmana kills Indrajit after some time. And then Ravana comes in and he puts a Shakti Astra on Lakshmana. And then Hanuman goes once again and gets the medicinal herbs this next time. So the Lord allows himself to be put in a bind or to be in trouble so that the devotees get a chance to serve him, and they're praised for their service. They're praised for their efforts. He puts himself in a bind. See, right now we are going ahead and glorifying Garuda. Oh, Garuda came in for the Lord's Naga Pasha pastime. He came in. We are glorifying the Lord. This took place in a couple of Treta Yugas ago. And we are glorifying him in the Kali Yuga of the 28th Kali Yuga of this particular Manvantara. We're doing that. So the Lord will enact pastimes for the glorification of his bhaktas, not for his self-glory. No. To glorify his bhaktas or to teach his bhaktas. It's always bhakta, bhakta, bhakta. The Lord is always bhakta centric. We should be Sita Rama centric. The Lord is bhakta centric. This is boil everything down. Forget about his awesome power and all that. Boil everything down to just one quality means the Lord loves his devotees. That is it. And for their sake, he will do anything, absolutely anything, including being bitten by snakes, including allowing Brahmastra to hurt them, including putting a huge spear through their chest, including all of that. This is the kindness of the Lord. We will go through the next part of the 59th chapter. We have not yet gone through the complete, we haven't as yet completed the 59th chapter. We'll go through the rest later on. I will announce when the next class is likely to be. But at least this is Mangalam Koslendraya, Mahaniya Gunavde, Chakravarti Tanujaya, Sarva Bhaumaya Mangalam. Jai Sitaram.
Jai Sitaram.